Guys, in this video I'm going to be going over my best bets for tomorrow. I'm going to be going over the lines and looking at them with you guys. Usually I just post my videos. Today I'm actually going to be trying to do something different. I'm going to be trying to do this throughout the whole entire year, go live for like 15 to 30 minutes, let you guys know exactly what bets I'm actually looking at. If you guys are here for the first time, click that thumbs up, like the video. Also, like I said, I'm going to be going over the lines right now. I don't know the lines. I have a queue of games I'm looking at for tomorrow's soccer bets. I will have my video out as well, so don't worry about that. The video will be out, but it's gonna be something that I'm gonna be doing different. I'm gonna be going like through it, trying to give you guys maybe a different outlook on how I break down the games. I have like a queue of games. Gonna give you guys the lines I'm looking at. I'm gonna be giving you guys my best bets, and also probably something I can try to maybe get some new fans, people that are gonna be here for the first time. So if you guys are here, you guys like sports betting, click that thumbs up, subscribe to the page. Don't miss out, guys. We do MMA, we do NFL football when it gets here. We did the NBA season. We were doing baseball, but baseball is kind of just not my sport. I don't like watch it as much. I was catching some bets, but I don't like betting on something I don't really watch that much. So I'm just trying to be doing all different types of sports. So if you guys are here for the first time, like I said, click that thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment, let me guys know. And also, guys, let me get right to this video. I'm gonna get into the betting lines. I'm gonna let you guys know exactly what bets we're gonna be getting into. Like I said, I have a queue of games I'm looking at. So let's get into the soccer bets for tomorrow, guys. Soccer bets for tomorrow. We're gonna be starting off for the Champions League. We're gonna be looking at these games. The first game I'm gonna be looking at the game that's starting at 8 a.m. tomorrow. 8 a.m. tomorrow, the game that I'm looking at is actually, it's going to be called Kiryat Almaty taking on KUPS in the Champions League. As of right now, Kiryat Almaty is a minus 250 favorite to win the game on the money line. So the bet I'm actually looking at is the over 1.5 goals. The over 1.5 goals takes that minus 250, drops it down to actually a minus 180. That's actually a better line. I like that one because Kiryat is down 2-0 on aggregates. They're the better squad at the moment. Honestly, they are the better overall team. But if you look at the line just says like they're just a big favorite. I do expect Kiryat to come out here. They're down 2-0 in aggregates, especially being at home. I do expect them to come out here and score about 3 or 4 goals. So let me go look at the recent games they have played, and I'll let you guys know exactly how that goes as well. 1 second, I'm bringing up the recent games, checking this out for tomorrow's games. These are all for tomorrow's games, guys. Today I did not have a video. Usually take Mondays as a break, but I kind of wanted to give you guys something because I've been sick the last couple days, so I didn't want to just miss out. So let me look at this right now, exactly what I'm looking at. Okay, tomorrow's game, Champions League. Kiryat taking on KUPS. Yeah, like I said, guys, Kiryat is the better team. Like I said, they're a minus 250 favorite at the moment. The odds keep going up on them at the moment. So if you guys want to go get that out early, I'm giving you guys a little early betting breakdown because there was a minus 150 for the over 1.5 goals. Now it's a minus 180. They were a minus 200. Now they're a minus 250 to win the game. They're down 2-0 on aggregates. If you look at their home games, guys, they have scored at least 2 goals in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 of the last 10 games at home have scored at least 2 goals. KUPS has given up at least 2 goals in 1, 2, 3, 4. In 4 of the last 10 games, they've given up at least 2 goals to a lot of worse opposition, especially when they're playing in the Finland League. The team in the Finland Leagues are just not as good. And Kiryat, I think they are the best team in Kazakhstan. If you look at the Kazakhstan leagues, look at the standings, Kiryat is the best team. As them and FC Astana, where FC Astana is going to be playing in the Europa League this year, Champions League. They are the best team over there. Kazakhstan actually has some decent squad. Kazakhstan actually has like 3 or 4 teams that actually do pretty decent in the Champions League. Not like a top Champions League team, but like when they're playing the Europas or the conference, they do pretty well. But yeah, like I said, if you look at the home stats for for Kiryat Almaty, it's their 5 wins, 1 loss. They've given up 4 goals. They scored 17 in their league, so it seems like they've been doing pretty well. Now, if you go look at KUPS in their league now in Finland, where Finland has a decent league, it's not the best, but they do pretty well. If you look at KUPS now, They're 9-4-4 in their league. On the road, they're 2-4-2. So they do not play good on the road, even in their own league. They've scored 9 goals. They've given up 10. So they've given up more goals than they've actually scored. So, like I said, that's the first bet I'm looking at. I just really expect Kyria Almaty to have a bounce back. Like I said, they're down 2-0 on aggregates. If they're going to want to move on in the Champions League, they're going to have to at least score 2, maybe score 3, because KPS might score 1. But I do believe they are the better squad. So that's going to be the first bet we're looking at, guys, for the first one. We're going to be looking at Kyria Almaty over 1.5 goals, to score at least 2 goals in this game. I think that's a really good line. Now, guys, for the next bet we're looking at this 2-leg parlay. We're looking at first game. We're looking at the first leg. We're looking at Drita taking on FC Copenhagen. FC Copenhagen is the better overall team. The first game they played at home, they won the game 2-0. They're up 2-0 on aggregates. Now, Drita from Kosovo is going to be moving forward to actually score a lot of goals and try to actually move on. But I just think FC Copenhagen is just a way better squad. They play in the league in Denmark. It's just way better than the leagues in Kosovo. Denmark has like a decent league, and like I said, FC Copenhagen is the best squad on that league. So we're looking at over 1.5 goal. Oh no, I'm sorry. We're looking at FC Copenhagen on the money line, because we usually take those over 1.5 goals. But FC Copenhagen, if you look, for some reason, FC Copenhagen on the road, they tend to win games 1-0, usually a lot. The last game they played on the road against Viborg, they won 3-2. They scored at least 3 goals. The game before that, they actually won 4-0. So I'm actually very surprised. They've been doing very well. But Drita at home has not been giving up a lot of goals, but that's in the Kosovo league. That's not the best league, and they have been doing pretty well at home. I kind of think Drita might score 1, maybe not. But still, FC Copenhagen, they've been playing really well. If you look at the last 3 games they played, the 3 games out of the last 5, they won 1 game 2-0. They won 1 game 2-0. They won 1 game 1-0. Those are all better teams they're playing against than Drita. So I'm taking FC Copenhagen on the money line, most likely as that first leg of that parlay. It comes out to a minus 238. Minus 238 for FC Copenhagen. Probably that first leg of the parlay that we're looking at for tomorrow's games in the Champions League. And then we're probably gonna parlay that, guys, with Dynamo Kiev. Dynamo Kiev, they're playing the team in Hamrun, where they played against Hamrun the first leg of the Champions League, this whole entire league at the moment. The first leg of this game, they won 3-0. They went out there and dominated the first leg. So now that was on the road. They played in Hamrun Stadium. Now they're playing in Dynamo Kiev. They're playing in Ukraine. So I do expect them to come out here and score at least 2 goals. We're looking at that over 1.5 goals on Kiev. Kiev right now on the odds is a minus 600. But if you take the over 1.5 goals as a parlay piece, you get that down to a minus 380. That's a lot better, guys. Now we're looking at that. Like I said, we're looking at FC Copenhagen on the money line and parlaying it with Kiev. You put those two together. Now let's go check those lines out. Like I said, if you guys are here for the first time, click that thumbs up, like the video, subscribe, guys. We are going to be giving, this is going to be something new I'm going to be giving you guys. I'm going to be giving you guys something brand new, how I break down the games. So if you guys are here real quick, let me let you guys know if you guys missed the first bet. The first bet we're looking at it in the Champions League is Kyria Almaty taking on KUPS. We're looking at Almaty over 1.5 goals because they're down 2-0 in aggregates. They are the better team. They're a minus 250 favorite to win the game. But if you take the over 1.5 goals, you get that down to a minus 180. The line's going up on them. Earlier they were a minus 200. Now they are a minus 250. More money's coming on Kyria Almaty. I do like that line. Earlier the over 1.5 goals was a minus 150. Now they're a minus 180. Money's coming in on them to score at least 2 goals. So go get that line out right now for the first game. Before the line actually comes out, like I said, if you guys are here for the first time, subscribe. Don't miss out. We give all these bets out. Now, guys, like I said, let's go see what that line comes out to for the second bet. The second bet is minus 245 for FC Copenhagen on the money line. If we look at the parlay piece with Dynamo Kiev over 1.5 goals, Dynamo Kiev minus 360 at the moment. The money line's coming in on them. Minus 125 for that 2-leg parlay. It's going to be Dynamo Kiev over 1.5 goals. FC Copenhagen on the money line. That's, like I said, that's a really great line, I think. I think both those teams are just very dominant, especially against lower level opposition. They should come in here, win those games, and score a lot of goals. FC Copenhagen might win 1-0, but that's the reason why we're taking them on the money line instead of the over 1.5 goals. So like I said, minus 125. That's honestly a really good line. Check that out. And that's that first 2-leg parlay. I'm gonna keep saying this. If you guys are here for the first time, subscribe to the page, click that thumbs up, like this live, guys. I'm going over my betting breakdown. I put out all my videos. I do soccer. I do NFL. NFL season is right around the corner. I do MMA. We break down all the MMA sports. We do all different types of leagues. So don't miss out. Click that thumbs up, like the video. So those are the first two bets I'm looking at. Kyria over 1.5 goals, 2-leg parlay, FC Copenhagen parlay with Dynamo Kiev over 1.5 goals. Those are the first ones I'm looking at for the tomorrow's bet. So now let's go. I have a queue of games I'm looking at. It's kind of like a elimination that we're going on. We're going to look at all these games. Now let's see the next one I'm actually looking at. The next game, give me 1 second, guys. I'm trying to bring up my flash score real quick so I have them all queued of the games I'm actually looking at. Those two first bets are actually the ones I'm actually looking at pretty well to actually do well tomorrow. So the next one we're looking at is a game at 9:30 in the morning. It's going to be in the Landsbokel Cup, the Denmark Cup. That's going to be the next bet we're actually looking at, guys. It's going to be, I'm trying to pronounce it right. It's going to be Hiverdort IF taking on Koj. And guys, right now, Hiverdort IF is a -189 to win the game. The -189 to win the game. If you look at the over 1.5 goals, let's go look at that line now. Go check the line out on that. At the moment, I want to give you guys a live betting breakdown, the live line on that. So give me 1 second. Let me bring that game up. Okay, got the line right here. Money just came on them right now. They were a -185. Now they're -190. I literally just saw the line move. So now they're a -190. If you take that over 1.5 goals, what we're looking at on them, over 1.5 goals for them is -150. That's actually a great line. If you guys look at the last time they actually played against Koj was not that long ago. They played July 26th, or not July 26th. The last time they played them was July 8th. They went out there, they scored 4 goals last time. They won that game 4-2. Kind of expect that same exact thing to happen. They're just a way better team. If you look at their home record, they have not lost a game in 5 straight games at home. They played a team that's in a higher division. They tied them 1-1. They did really well. But now if you go look at Koj's away record, they've given up 2 goals in 4 of the last 5 games. And now they're playing a team that's just way better than them. I just expect them to come out here and honestly get beat pretty easily, honestly. I don't think they're going to come out here and have that big of a game. So I'm looking at Hiverdort over 1.5 goals for that third bet, guys. Like I said, they won the first game 4-2. I think they're going to come out here, win this game. Another one, like a 4-1, maybe a 3-1 victory. So that's the next bet I'm looking at. 3 bets so far I'm actually looking at so far. Now the next one we're actually looking at, guys, is going to be in the Conference League. The Conference League tomorrow, the Europa Conference League. It's going to be Inter Escalada is taking on, I think it's El Ljubljana. El Ljubljana is the better overall team. The first game, El Ljubljana was at home. They won the first leg 4-2. It was a 4-2 game. And now this bet, I'm going to look at that line real quick because I'm actually kind of looking at that both teams to score. And let me bring that up. Inter Escalades. Both teams to score. -132 at the moment. That's actually a really good line because the first game ended 4-2. We had 6 goals in that first game. Now, with El Ljubljana being the better squad, playing on the road, I do expect them to score maybe 1 or 2. They're going to have to score at least 1 or 2 because Inter Escalada is going to be coming forward. They scored 2 goals on the road. Now they're playing at home. I expect them to score at least 2 goals again. And if they come out here and score at least 2 and they tie it, the aggregate's 4-4, Olympia Ljubljana is going to have to score at least 1 score because they know they're going to have to score at least 1 to make that push. I think this game has a good chance to come out to a 2-2 draw, maybe even a 3-1 victory either side. So both teams to score looks really good on that one. The over 2.5 for that game is a -125. So even the bookies have the favorite for at least 3 goals to be scored in that game. El Jubiana is a -110 favorite. You can get Inter Escalades as an underdog as a +240. The draw is a +245. But both teams, the score looks like a really good line, guys. Like I said, -132. The first game ended 2-4. I kind of expect this game to come out 2-2, 3-2. A really good high scoring game. So that's gonna be the fourth bet we're actually looking at now, guys. That's 4 bets I've given you so far. Now for the next one I'm looking at, guys. The next bets I am actually looking at is going to be in the Leagues Cup, the North American Leagues Cup. Let me bring those games up. First game is going to be Toluca taking on Columbus Crew. I'm actually looking at the both teams to score in that game because those are both really good high powered offense teams. They both have really good offenses and their defenses don't usually show up. Right now, if you look at the line, Toluca is a +155. Columbus Crew is a +145. The draw is a +250. These lines are right there. The over 2.5 goals for this game, let's look at that. It's a -183. Both teams to score on that one is a -185. That line looks really great because if you look at this, the odds tell you that. The odds tell you +155 Toluca, +145 Columbus Crew. They're right even. We could see a 1-1 draw. We could see a 2-2 draw. That's kind of what I'm expecting. I'm expecting a 2-2 draw. Both defenses are not that good. Their offenses are very high power. Both these two teams score a lot of goals. So I kind of see a 2-2 draw on that one. I think Columbus Crew is a top 5 team in the MLS. I think Toluca getting better and better, top 5 team in Liga MX. Like before, if we were talking about 2 years ago, Toluca was a middle of the pack, maybe bottom lower level of the Liga MX. Now they're a top 5 team. They're competing with teams like Tigres. They're competing with teams like Pumas. So now I kind of expect Toluca to come out here against Columbus Crew. Columbus Crew, in my opinion, I think Columbus Crew is the better team. But with Toluca playing at home, they're playing in Mexico. Columbus Crew is not going to get a clean sheet. Like I said, probably a 2-2 draw. So I'm actually looking at that both teams to score in that one. So that's the 5th bet I give you guys. Both teams to score in the Columbus Crew and Toluca game. That's what I'm actually looking at now. Now for the last bet of the day, the last bet of my queue that I'm looking at is going to be LAFC taking on Mazatlan. Mazatlan is a bottom 5 team in Liga MX. Mazatlan does not do well in Liga MX. LAFC is a top 5 team in the MLS. I'm looking at LAFC over 1.5 goals. LAFC over 1.5 goals, a -190. Money's coming in on them. I looked at this earlier. They're a -175 for the over 1.5 goals. They were a -210 to win the game. Now they're a -250 to win the game. Now they're a -190 to over 1.5 goals. LAFC should come out here and dominate. LAFC should come out there, score about 2-3 goals, maybe a 2-1, a 3-1 victory. I think Mazatlan might score at least 1 goal, so that's just gonna make them push forward to actually score another one. So I do think that's actually a really good line for them to come out here and score at least 2 goals. I think this one is gonna be actually, like I said, a dominant victory for LAFC. They're playing in LA. LAFC plays really well at home. They're playing the bottom 5 team in Mazatlan on the road. So I kind of think LAFC tomorrow comes out there and dominates that victory. I think LAFC is going to honestly win that game pretty easily. Like I said, earlier they were a -170 over 1.5 goals, a -210 to win the game. Now they are a -250 to win the game, a -190 to over 1.5 goals. I'm taking the over 1.5 goals. I think they come out here, score about 2 or 3. I think it's gonna be a pretty dominant victory. So that's the 6 bets I have for you guys. I'm actually looking at. So I gave you guys all the 6 bets I'm looking at the moment. Let's go through them one more time. If you guys are here for the first time, click that thumbs up, subscribe. Check out my videos. I give you guys all betting breakdowns. I'm going to be coming on live, giving you guys my best bets for the NFL season, the soccer bets I have. So for the first bet, if you guys are here, first bet is going to be Kiryat Almaty in the Champions League over 1.5 goals. They're down 2-0 on aggregates. I expect them to come out here with fire at home to try to tie this up or even win the game. So I'm taking them over 1.5 goals. I think they honestly come in here, like I said, score about 2 or 3, trying to get back on the aggregate score because they're down 2-0 against a lower level team in KUPS on the road. Next one was the two-leg parlay in the Champions League. We're looking at FC Copenhagen on the money line because they're playing a team in Kosovo, Drita, that's not that good of a squad. FC Copenhagen is a way better team than them. FC Copenhagen is the best team in Denmark, a top two team in Denmark, if you want to say Midtjylland or Brøndby or any of those good squads. But FC Copenhagen historically is the best team in Denmark, and they're playing a team in Drita that's in Kosovo. That's not even the best team in Kosovo. So I do think FC Copenhagen on the money line is a good play. Maybe a 1-0, 2-0, 2-1 victory for FC Copenhagen. So then parlaying that with Dynamo Kiev over 1.5 goals. Dynamo Kiev won the first leg 3-0 on the road. Now they're playing at home in Ukraine. They should come out there and score at least 2 or 3 goals. So that's the second bet we're looking at, guys, on the 2-leg parlay. FC Copenhagen over FC Copenhagen on the money line. Parlay that with Dynamo Kiev over 1.5 goals. That looks like a really good parlay. It comes out to a minus 125. It's a really good play just because both these two teams are dominant. Next one, guys, I was looking at in the Conference League was going to be Inter Escalades taking on El Ljubljana in the Conference League, Europa Conference League. We're looking at both teams to score in that one just because the first game ended 2-4. El Ljubljana is a better team. They scored 4 goals on the road. They scored 4 goals at home. Inter Escalades scored 2 goals at home. Now I kind of expect both these teams to come out here and honestly, like I said, score at least 1. If Inter Escalades is good enough to score at least 2 goals on the road, they should be good enough to at least score 1 or 2, maybe. I think they score 2 at home. And if El Ljubljana is good enough to score 4 goals at home, they should be able to score at least 1 on the road. So I'm looking at both teams to score. That's a minus 132. That looks really well because I think both teams are going to come out there with fire, playing really high level football, and try to score as much as they can. So that's the third bet we're looking at. Now the fourth bet we were looking at was, I thought I had 6 bets. I think I'm missing one more. Give me 1 sec. Oh, sorry guys. The fourth bet we're looking at is in the Landspokel Cup in Denmark. It's gonna be Hvidovre IF taking on Køge. We were looking at Hvidovre over 1.5 goals. The last game they played against them on July 8th, they scored 4 goals against them. They won the game 4-2. Now in the cup, Hvidovre is just the best team in the lower. It's Division 1 in Denmark. They were playing in the top league in Denmark. Now they're playing in the Superliga. Now they're down to Division 1. They got relegated, but they're still the best team in that Division 1. Køge is the middle of the pack squad. Hvidovre is probably going to be the best team and actually get promoted back up to the Superliga. They scored 4 goals on Køge last time. They should come out here, score at least 2 this time. So that's the third bet we're looking at. Or the fourth bet we're looking at, guys, is Hvidovre IF over 1.5 goals. Now for the fifth bet we're looking at, guys, it's going to be in the North American Leagues Cup. Toluca versus Columbus Crew. Both teams to score. Both teams will come out there and score at least 1 goal. Like I said, really good offenses. Really not that good of defenses, especially Columbus Crew. Columbus Crew, one of the best offenses in the league. But if you look at their last games, they've given up a lot of goals. Toluca doesn't have the best defense either. They're playing at home in Mexico at Toluca Stadium, so I do think Toluca is going to come out there. They're not going to go scoreless. They're going to score at least 1 or 2. But Columbus Crew is a better team than Toluca, so I do expect Columbus Crew to come out there and win the game. If you look at the odds, plus 145 for Toluca on the money line, plus 155 for Columbus Crew on the money line. Both the odds seem that they're very, very close. And then if you look at both teams to score is minus 185 at the moment. The line keeps jumping. It went to a minus 200 earlier. It went down to a minus 170. Now it's about a minus 185. It's jumping around right now. So I do believe both teams score in that one. Now for the last bet I have for you guys was LAFC over 1.5 goals. Playing Mazatlan. Mazatlan is not a good team in Liga MX. They're a bottom 5 team. LAFC is a top 5 team in the MLS. LAFC should come in there and dominate. They're playing in LA. They should come in there, score at least 2 or 3 goals and dominate that victory. So those are the 6 bets I'm looking at for you guys. If you guys are here for the first time, click that thumbs up, like the video, subscribe to the page. Later on, I will be posting the actual video. This is going to be something I'm going to be doing probably every other day. I'll be coming on here live, giving you guys my bets and the breakdown before I actually post the video, see exactly what bets I'm looking at. And maybe if you guys have any bets, you guys can comment, let me guys know if you guys have any bets. I will be pinning some comments, let me see if you guys have any bets for soccer. So guys, that's going to be it for today's video, today's live. We're going to be doing this, so come around all the time, guys. We're going to be breaking these soccer games down. We're going to be doing MMA. We do all different types of sports. So I'm out of here, guys. Like I said, subscribe to the page. Don't miss out. And I'm out of here. I'll see you guys next time.